r/NoSleep, posted by Reddit user likeeyedid. I'm playing a game called Smile, but nobody taught me the rules. Part 4. We cordially invite you to join us on this wonderful adventure. There are many rewards to be won, much fun to be had, and many souls to be mushed. In this package, you will find everything you need for the adventure. You will be looking for jesters, imposters, and even a princess. Thrilling, isn't it? My first impression of the game was an image of complete madness. With no clues or help, we were sent to hell. Though as the game progressed, I started understanding this wasn't entirely true. While the game masters could be vague, especially when it came to the punishment, the assignments were often quite explicit and to be taken quite literally. They had told us exactly what we would be doing in this game. In the very first letter we received, we would look for jesters, imposters, and a princess. That's what went through my head when I pushed him into the ice-cold river. I am quite aware that it was a risky and impulsive decision I took there. In a matter of seconds, a waterfall of thoughts ran through my mind. The boy I called Lucas certainly wasn't who he said he was. Lucas wasn't his name. It was Lay, my childhood friend who went through hell and back with me. But that was enough for me to consider him fake. I wasn't truthful about my identity either, calling myself Finn when I was still the same Alex. Even dyeing my hair and growing a beard didn't change that. In that sense, I would be just as fake as him. But Lucas had lied. He kept secrets. He had pushed a man on the train tracks to die. That's what it all came down to. It seemed that he had betrayed us. I thought if I had to choose whether I would kill my friend who was appearing malicious, or a stranger who appeared to be kind and compassionate towards an enemy. But that's the thing, right? Things are never as they appear. And that's what clicked in my head when I looked inside the eyes of the two men wearing the masks. I wasn't looking at Killian and Lucas. I was looking at Killian and an imposter. Fuck! Killian was still shaking all over. After I helped him get off the railing, he fell right to the ground. At that moment, I couldn't really pay attention to him though. I was standing on edge, looking deep down the river. I can't begin to describe how much dread and guilt I felt after what I had just done. I took such an impulsive action. What if I was wrong? My heart skipped a beat as I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. I almost started crying when I saw Lucas's name on the screen. "Where the hell are you guys?" he shouted through the phone. "Lay," I whispered. "Are you okay?" "What? No, I'm not. Both of you just disappeared. Where are you? And you're supposed to call me Lucas, idiot." I wanted to laugh, but only until it registered what he had just said. "What do you mean, both of us? Haley's gone too? You mean she's not with you? Shit. I tried calling her, but she wouldn't pick up. Which one of you took the game phone?" "Stay where you are. I'm coming home now," I answered, and shoved my phone back inside my pocket. The relief of Lucas being alive washed away with an awful new set of emotions. Where was Haley? And if this really wasn't Lucas, who had I just pushed over the edge? "What the actual fuck?" I heard Killian whisper, as he was on his knees now, staring through the gaps of the railing. How did he survive this? "This can't be possible. What is it?" he continued. What I saw down there almost made me throw up. From this distance, it could be really mistaken for my friend, but whatever it was, it somehow managed to survive a fall that should have been fatal. But instead, it was vividly swimming in the river. We heard a shrill laugh before the creature lay on its back and got pulled down with the stream of the river, with a big grin on his face. I wish I could say this was the worst thing I'd seen so far, but unfortunately, The fake Lucas was awfully familiar. Except, the last time I saw him, he was much younger. I had to pull myself together and drive to the apartment. This night wasn't over yet.
How did you know he wasn't real?
Killian asked inside the car. After what had just happened and all the questions I had, I figured I would take him with me. Of course, I didn't trust this stranger, but his team somehow had made it to the second place of the game. He certainly had to know things about it that I didn't, and he did kind of owe me after I had just saved his life. I remember how you said something about the face of Lucas being distorted. It reminded me of a show him and I started watching when we were younger. Well, it's a long story, but let's just say I have some experience with those copycats. But you know that, right? Because you know who we are, I responded. Killian stayed silent for a moment.
Your friend is Lay, isn't he? He's the reason I started playing the game. He convinced everyone.
I know I had to get home, but when he said that, I took a full break, locked the doors of the car, and turned to Killian.
What did you just say?
I could tell that he tried to look calm, but his hands were shaking.
There was a video of him in which he told us about the game. That's all I can tell you, okay? Now, can you please take me home?
Killian seemed so courageous when we had met in the subway, but now he reminded me of a scared child. It made me feel terrible. He had just looked death into the eye, and now I was basically kidnapping him because I projected my anger on him. In reality, he had just been sucked into this horrible game, and it even appeared it was my friend's fault. I took a deep breath to calm myself. How old are you, Killian?
20. Why?
Did you see Dr. Warley's Adventure Club when you were little? You would have been around 6 or 7. It aired in Watton and the nearby towns. I assume it was on the television in Martin too?
Yeah. That's how I knew you.
He sniffed and then laughed.
I was your biggest fan. But that was years ago. The video I saw recently, Lucas was all grown up.
I held the steering wheel tight. Yeah, makes sense. They must have somehow lured him in. I know the people who are behind this sick game, and they are extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I kinda got that when I almost died. And I believe that they are specifically targeting you, he said.
How so?
I hadn't actually received the location of the town hall yesterday. I saw Lucas and you at the subway station, and because he was heading in the direction of the mall, I thought I'd follow you. You were the only one in the group that got that other location.
They wanted me to see Lucas push the jester, I whispered.
The jesters are just other players. They get the assignment to do things. My buddy Chris was actually the jester who brought you guys the package a few days ago.
I started driving again. There were so many things that were coming together, but still so much unclear. I need to get home now. I think my friend might be in danger. You can go if you want, Killian, but I would really appreciate it if you came along and told us everything that you know, and I mean everything. He typed something on his phone and then looked at me and nodded.
What's going on?
Lucas shouted, first thing as I opened the door. I had only seen him a few hours ago, but so much had changed since then. I went from thinking about that he was a murderer to being in charge of his fate to wondering if he was associated with all the game masters of all this. I'll explain later.
Has Haley not come back?
I responded. Lucas shook his head.
I might know where she is, Killian chimed in from the back. My buddy texted me. He also had to push someone from a bridge, and he got to decide on 2 girls. What is he talking about? Lucas shouted.
I thought Haley had the game phone, I said.
That was mine. Killian pulled out another phone from his pocket.
Mix it up. Congratulations, Team W. You won $10,000, as well as a new member. Show your best behavior, kitty cat. You are among celebrities.
Lucas walked over and grabbed the phone off his hand. Kitty cat? What's that supposed to mean?
That's what they call me. Killian's face turned red. My heart started racing.
What does that mean? Did they just replace Haley?
Panicked as I was. Check the photos, I said. They had been fast. Our team was now on the second position, and Haley's face was replaced by one of Killian. But Haley hadn't left the game. She was now on the third spot next to Killian's former team member. Can you text your friend? I asked.
I tried. He's not responding anymore. But it looks like your friend survived,
he said. Or that's what they want us to think, Lucas mumbled. Congrats, top 5. You all have been waiting for this moment, haven't you? The princess is close, but better watch out, or she might steal your heart. Killian's hands started shaking. His eyes were tearing up, and it almost felt as if he'd become a whole new person.
Finally,
he whispered. Lucas and I stared at him with questioning looks. There was so much happening at once. I had hardly gotten over the fact of choosing to kill Lucas. We had lost Haley, and it felt like we were on our own agenda. Now, we were supposed to be the top 5 with a new team member. I don't think I want to murder some princess, even if it's another imposter. I still have a bitter taste in my mouth from pushing Lucas over the edge, I said.
You did what?
Lucas asked. We won't murder her. We'll try to survive, Killian said in a dry tone. We were sitting on the floor of the living room. In front of us lay the phone. There was nothing we could do but wait until we received another clue. We had tried reaching out to Haley, but couldn't get through to her or Killian's friends. Of course, we had thought about just going to the place Killian had seen his friend at last, but we had a feeling the game masters were closely watching us, and the round hadn't officially begun yet. When Killian went to the bathroom, and I finally had a moment alone with my friend, I decided I would try to get some information out of him. Lucas, did you tell the game masters about us? Are you the reason they found us? Lucas's eyes opened wide.
What the hell? No,
he said. You're telling me you didn't take a video of yourself, forcing others to join the game? Lucas started laughing.
You're joking, right?
Did you forget? He stopped talking as Killian stepped back into the room. We stayed silent after that. Even though we all had a million of questions in our head, nobody asked anything. I don't know if the others didn't dare to ask or whether the game had just broken our spirit already. It was dawn when the phone finally started playing that painful melody again. Round 4 will begin in 13 hours and 47 minutes. Terribly sad news. Your friend, I'm afraid, is long gone. Your princess, however, will be awaiting you at the Curious Carnival in... And isn't that all that counts? Don't forget your armor.